Bachelor's in Life Sciences, a Master's in Economics and Transportation Planning from School of Planning and Architecture. And I worked some 6 years with the Ministry of Science and Technology at Delhi. And then I moved to Bangalore for personal reasons, quit the job there and joined a consulting firm called Wilbur Smith Associates, which is into infrastructure planning. Then I got a kid and then I quit. work was put on the back burner till I discovered Chillibreeze, and it was just moving along and waiting, and then I attended their writers meeting that was like in Feb last year, 2006, and from then on we have been like, I've teamed up with Bilasni under her wings, and on the training or learning to coordinate the writing works and all that. So I've been given the e-publishing responsibility, trying to work on that. That is my brief profile.
Well, I've had collective experience of 20 years. I guess you people must have guessed. So I moved around with my army officer husband. So every 2.5 years I was into a new job, being a rookie at the new place, even though I continued to teach for the first few years of my career at least. Went from one school to another, and then moved up to the classes, taught higher grades and everything, and was activities in charge. So I did co-curricular activities, and then I was editor managing the school magazines and things. And yet from one school to another, when I moved to the new town, they treated me like I was starting off work, as a fresher, and they'd assess me over 1 year or 1.5 years and be comfortable with my style of working and be very happy, by which time my husband would get his and we'd pack our bags and move on. So that's how it was for a large part of the first few years, And once he decided to move out of the army, once he finished his 20 years of service, I decided it was time for me to move out of teaching school children and go into maybe editing. So that's when I shifted into editing with Orient Longman Publishers at Chennai. Attended training with them for 2 weeks, after which they offered me a full-time job. But again, my daughter was in her board class then, 10th standard, so I wanted to be at home for her. So I opted for freelance work with them. Did a lot of freelance work, 5 years of it, successfully for them as well as other people, including an NGO. And from there moved on to Macmillan India, did a stint with them, 2 years. And I was also at the Himalaya Drug Company in Bangalore. Once we moved here, once my husband had left the army, and we decided to come back here because we had bought a flat here in Kamanali, so it's time to go home now. I joined the Himalaya Drug Company because they had advertised for an in-house editor, and that was my first in-house corporate experience. Age bar was 30, I was 40. I applied anyway, and they called me for the interview, and we did some tests there, and they said, "You've been selected." So I got in there and got to work with a very young team. I was put in the quality assurance department there. So we were just a small team, beautiful place. And they've got a lot of employee welfare schemes which want you to just make you stay on forever, you just don't want to leave them. They're wonderful people that way. There again, we had a small team because it was the quality assurance team, just 12 of us in the team, to take care of all quality issues for the entire organization. And like someone told me, "Ma'am, anything with ABC in it is yours." To sort out and clean up, And so that's what I did there, documentation. And they used to export about 70 countries. So they had various requirements. Each country needed a different kind of documentation and even packaging. All their drug control requirements were to be followed. And our art department used to produce all kinds of all manner of things and mix up, country requirements. So I used to send them back to them, say, you've got to add this or remove this and, things like that. So I did that. Then moved on to Macmillan and stayed there for a couple of years, and now I'm with you.
I think I'm now an old timer here, even though I keep thinking I've been here since this thing, but I think I've been here for now a year with Chillibreeze. I did my bachelor's in botany and my master's in genetic engineering. And then in the final year of my genetic engineering, I just completed and got married and moved to the US. One of those all those things. So then I was there. I worked with a lot of companies there as a volunteer and some paid jobs. And then we moved back to India in 2003. And after that, I was helping my husband set up his business, doing most of the technical writing stuff and things like that. And then I bumped into Vilasini during one of her courses. I picked up the phone and she's like, you know, I'm actually your mother's age. I was asking her, I said, okay, shall we team up to do a project together? And she said, you know something, I'm your mom's age. And I said, okay, I couldn't picture Vilasini as a mother. I was like, okay. She said, I got kids your age. And then I met her, and I think I was in her Chillibreeze office. And I think they just had an ID meeting or something with somebody from Singapore. And then when we finished the course, actually I was looking out for an ID type of job. I was thinking I should call Vilasini, but somehow it never came. And one fine day, I was like, okay, this week I'm going to call her, and she called me. And it was like, this is Vilasini. I was like, okay. And she said, you know, we got this project coming up. It's about writing a math book, and will you be interested? And I was like, oh yeah, that's neat. And I was into Chillibreeze. From then, it's just been a progressive step. You know, I started off as a writer, then moved on to a project coordinator. Now I'm with sales, and actually now I'm on a break. I think I didn't do anything over the last month. So, and let's see. I hope to grow with the company. And